Hey folks, welcome to another episode. Today we're going to be going to the Americas. We're going to be traveling virtually down South America, Brazil, Rio, and yeah, I really enjoyed this trip. I was really lucky to be able to take many photographs, experience a lot of Rio, and yeah, just experience a whole different culture. I mean, talk about a place that has energy, has music and spirit, all wrapped up into it. It was incredible. So let's dive in and let's begin. All right, so we're going to start with a beautiful, I guess, landscape sort of shot, of a plane taking off here. And it's kind of, showcasing kind of the port, of Rio. So you've got this amazing backdrop of just, ships and ships and ships and ships and the mountains. I mean, the mountains in this place is just incredible. It's something like I've never seen before. Rio is definitely a landscape as a landscape backdrop of a city. It's just like something that I've never like ever witnessed before. It's really it kind of doesn't make sense in your mind because you're so used to cities being maybe a bit more flat or maybe there's a couple of hills or something like that. But how Rio is just like this incredible masses of mountains that just pop out, and you know the city just kind of hugs the mountains and just works in with it, and it's just yeah, it's really beautiful place to go to. So yeah, you can see here just kind of like the this doesn't look like many other places to me. Personally, it just doesn't. It's got that vibe of just a different beast. But yeah, no, really enjoyed my trip in Rio. I had a lot of fun. I was traveling with other South Americans, so that certainly helps out, um, especially when you're not necessarily from the country, or you speak the language, or from anywhere in South America. But I had South American friends from Chile, um, and yeah, those Chileans they really helped. So shouts out to them. Thank you for the language. And I did a little Spanish course before I went over to South America, just to kind of brush up a little bit, and I think that helped out. It helped out a little bit. But yeah, there's no other way you're going to learn a language compared to when you're actually feet on the ground. You know, interacting with people. You need to get food. You need to find directions. You need to find your lost friends. What are you going to do? You're going to have to try and it's do or die sort of situation. And yeah, it's a good way to, I guess, inspire you to learn because you have to. And a lot of people there I found were pretty patient. I found them to be pretty happy, kind of helping me out and helping me along with my Spanish. So muchas gracias. And yeah, let's continue on to the rest of the photos, guys. So here we go. We've got the beautiful backdrop of Rio, and then this sort of shot here just really kind of, I guess, sums that sort of Rio up. The colors, the flavors, the artistry, the sort of, okay, I guess maybe danger is not the right word, but the sort of the thrill of the place. And just found these guys while I was going through some of the markets, and just saw this crop as something really interesting. Kind of cropping the guy off just at his kind of smirk, right up the top here, and then having this guy's head down here, it just kind of completes the shot, and you've got obviously the watermelon in the middle. Lots of beautiful street food, street fruit, and beautiful stuff that's made in Rio. But yeah, I just thought this image kind of really spoke Rio to me. The colors, the vibe, the energy. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And we'll continue on. So you got a lot of like street shooting opportunities, and you can really kind of see, some people that are a bit less fortunate, that are a bit, that are struggling by the streets. And I think personally, my take is that it's important to take these sorts of images. I think it's important to document. I understand, you got to respect people's privacy, and you got to respect, other human life and animal life. I believe by respecting that, you're actually capturing it. You're actually sharing the stories, showing what's going on, showing the scenes, unveiling the truth, and yeah, showing the different parts, because there's different facets to cities. There's obviously really wealthy parts, really corrupt parts, really rich parts, And yeah, I think it all has to be kind of captured and all has to be shown, so that someone can kind of get a balanced view of what's going on. But this particular image got a bit deep into it there. I do have a habit of doing that. But this particular image, I mean, just kind of looking up to the skies makes it a little bit more powerful, black and white. Yeah, just kind of speaks a little bit more to the viewer. And then here is the favelas. So this is something that I've never experienced. I mean, from South Africa, you know, there's townships, so it is similar. But where you've got, you know, these cable cars that take you over favelas, you know, be pretty much, you know, cable cars taking you over townships. And then there, right in the center, you've got South Africa. So someone's obviously representing or sending a message back to South Africa, and obviously that caught my eye. But yeah, the housing situation, and the kind of the communities, very similar to the townships in South Africa, and probably other communities around the world. You know, unfortunate that people have to live like this. You know, but I find that in these communities, they do find their own place. And I actually took a photograph, a portrait of one of the guys in one of these communities. There he is. So a little kid. And yeah, this is a portrait that I look back on and I'm really stoked about. Really happy that I caught this moment. Yeah, it's just he was a pretty tough kid, you know. And we went up to this different fella, so different to the image you saw before. And you know, he was up there playing soccer with his mates, running around, and we only had a few minutes. So the tour guide that was with us that took us up there, he said, "Look, you know, the community leader has let us know that we've got a few minutes, you know, to get in and get out. Basically, go up the you know the thing takes you up and come back down it because yeah, you don't have much time in there, and you want to make sure that everyone is feeling good, everyone's happy. But yeah, this kid kind of came up and." I just, you know, I asked the tour guide, please, can you help me get this portrait of this kid? Because I just think it's really gonna capture the essence of Brazil and the favelas, and you know, and yeah, pretty stoked with what I got with the results. Yeah, so we'll continue on. This was another guy who's just kind of by the markets, just making different sort of jewelry, you know, from like copper and different sort of things that he's gonna sell at the markets. And this guy, he was an awesome friend of ours. You know, he became a friend of ours. He was working at one of the hotels that we stayed at, and he really, you know, he got pretty deep and was able to share a bit of stories about his family, situations, about Brazil, about, you know, it's really nice when you're in a location and you can speak to someone who's actually experiencing it, and who's not going to have, I guess, a slanted reason to tell you, sugarcoat things or tell you different things. You know, he was pretty real with us, and so capturing this portrait of him, you know, was really good. He was a character, and yeah, this portrait was a nice shot. And then here, this is at the bottom of Christ the Redeemer. So that's Christ the Redeemer there. Incredible statue, really incredible. I suggest anyone going to Brazil, you have to see the statue, and those views that you can see from that, like this is the sort of landscape I'm talking about. It's bloody incredible, and those views that you can see from the statue are amazing. It's definitely a top priority on the list if you're going to Rio. Definitely hit up Christ the Redeemer. Definitely a fan favorite of mine. And these were just, I guess, a couple of people down the bottom. You know, a lot of people that I interacted with in Brazil were really happy, really engaged with taking photographs. And yeah, just the culture. I love the culture. Lots of good opportunities to get street moments, street opportunities, to capture what's going on in these sorts of locations. Very different to what we get in Perth, WA. And yeah, it's non-stop photo opportunities. It's a photographer's delight. Once you start, you don't stop, and the people you're traveling with are not happy about that, because you're just hold on. Let me just, and, you know, and you got to kind of develop a bit of a relationship with the person you're going to photograph in a quick timely manner. You got to be able to make them feel comfortable, make sure they're okay if you're taking the photograph, make sure the area is okay. You know, you're not going to get jumped, or you're not going to, you know, someone's not going to come out and yell at you, or you know, you're not upsetting someone by being there. So, you know, it takes a little while, and once you tick those things off as quick as you can, then you can start drawing out the soul and the essence, and you know, the personality in the photographs. And that's yeah, that's where it's really key. I think, you know, you got to spend that time with the people on the ground, kind of getting those moments out, getting them comfortable, and making them feel comfortable in front of the camera, so that you can start taking photographs, and they will come out however they will come out, you know. And I mean, this image, well, it's not perfect and it's not as great as some of my other Brazil images. What it does show is, in the background, you can see the group of people that I was with, and it kind of just reminds me of that fact of traveling with cameras, photography, trying to capture moments, and you're traveling with people, and you got to be respectful of that as well. So it's a good little reminder for me. And yeah, so that's, you know, this was my experience in Brazil. There's actually loads and loads more photographs, but these were just some of the ones that I kind of wanted to share with you guys. It's a really spiritual place. The energy, the vibe, the soul of the place, you know, it's just, it doesn't stop. I mean, I wanted to be there for their big carnival in February. However, we were going to fly back home. But yeah, being able to have friends from Chile, people from South America really, really helped out, and it allows you to get into these places, go to the markets, and embrace those moments and experience them even more. So if this is any inspiration, I'd say, you know, try and, you know, connect with people around the world. Try and, you know, we live in a, you know, international sort of, you know, networking planet right now. You know, we can network with people all around the world. We can meet up with people if we're going to go travel, if we're going to plan to travel. Just, yeah, start chatting to people, start finding friends, find pen pals. You know, when that sort of word has that sort of phrase has kind of, you know, been you know, it's prehistoric at the moment. But yeah, you know, get some pen pals, connect with these people, because it really makes your trips so much more valuable, and it really just allows you to experience those places. And you spend a lot of money, time, energy, risk, whatever it is, to go to those spaces. You might as well enjoy it the most you can. Yeah. So awesome, guys. Thank you for joining me again. And yeah, there's a few other countries in South America that I'm pretty keen to, you know, get through and show you. So yeah, I look forward to having you on for the ride. Cheers.